Julia. She's also so Julia. I started with the wrong name. She's also a bunny, Zayats. So yesterday, I watched the show. I watched another episode of the show. It's called Married at First Sight. So it's basically a reality show. The only shows I watch right now when I do my yoga. It's a reality show about people who are basically cannot find love in their life, and they go to experts of the show, and they find them a soulmate, a matching partner, based on the psychological traits, based on what they're looking for, on their characters, all of that. Obviously, the looks, the cultural aspect, all of that, and they basically meet at the altar. That's the first time when they meet at the altar in the wedding, attire and everything. That's when they meet each other for the first time. And from the when they get married, they have a wedding, and they have the first night, and from that point on, they start building their relationship. Okay, and they basically start building their marriage and learning about each other, which is it's fun to watch. And so this season, I think it's season 18, they managed the experts of the show. They also come during the show. They come, they talk to those people, trying to figure out their differences, how to fix them, how to make their marriage work, and all of that. So these experts managed to pick not one but two narcissists. I still have my doubts about the woman, the female one, but I have no doubts about male because it triggered me so much and reminded me so much of what I had with my relationship with my ex. And but not just that, they also match them with sensitive people, with empath. It's like fuel. It's like fuel for narcissists. It's such a horrible job on expert side.
Do it on purpose?
I don't think they did it on purpose, because that would be horrible if they did. Because those people are maybe male, he will be fine. He's very like easygoing, big macho guy, exactly what she wanted before the show. But the female, she will be damaged. She will be traumatized after the show, because he did everything the narcissist would do. Basically wiped off her personality. No matter what she did or said, she walked on eggshells, but he also obviously told everyone that he walks on eggshells. But you watch it from outside. You see what's happening. Like, he cannot hide it behind the curtain. And
okay,
horrible.
Today we're gonna have another exciting story, I think, about
Yeah.
narcissists and everything that, like from the main hero syndrome to some other pretty psychotic things that we see online. So hello to everyone. I'm Julia. This is Natasha, and we are Queens with
Queens with
with
accents.
accents. Yes.
Constantly what we forget to say the name of the show. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay,
So
so
this is a
pretty
story.
interesting and very sadistic story, I think, because if even if
It,
they were even if they did not do it on purpose, I think that they kind of, you
and
know,
they saw what's happening during the show. They watched the
yeah,
episodes
yeah, they,
before, and they came and they insisted for them to continue showing what's going on. And that people
yeah,
agreed, because they're empath. It's like it's their nature to please other people. They're people pleasing, and so they didn't quit, but they should quit. And I felt
yeah, and I
so
think that
bad for that girl. Yeah.
empath, I think that this person would kind of could have think that, if he or she would reject, that would cause a huge trauma to another person, so that's why they would just, comply to everything. This is
Yeah.
it gives me goosebumps. I
It's
Because,
horrible.
you know yeah, sometimes I see all those manipulations that, men or even or women do to other people, and how other people just cannot understand what's really going on, and they try to, tell themselves to cool themselves and say that this is okay, I'm gonna change this person, he didn't mean that, or she didn't mean that.
Hmm.
And it always ends bad,
Yeah.
always.
Yeah.
And
That's how it
to
ended with me.
for yeah, and for a professional crew of professionals do that. If it's not a show, if that's for real, if it's not like, if those people will not see each other after the shooting stops, after the director
Yeah.
says cut, then well, it's for the show. But if they would try to interact with each other, it's gonna be a huge catastrophe.
Yeah, unfortunately, those people who, the sensitive ones, they got into the show for good reasons. They really wanted to
Mm-hmm.
find a partner, and they tried too hard. And this woman tried too hard, and this triggered me. It's triggered me so much, and because she texted him, and he never responded. The silent treatment, and then he told everyone that she did not text him, and then when she got, he
Mm,
pushed her, pushed her, pushed her until she exploded. Obviously, that's what happens all the time. And he was like, and he's so
yeah.
cool and chill. And he's like, see what I'm dealing with for every day. She's crazy.
Classical. It's a textbook behavior.
Classic,
Yes.
classic. And that's
Yes.
exactly like this. It happened exactly in my marriage. It was like that,
I
and
wonder.
it's
I
horrible.
wonder how they picked the people for the show, because I'm sure that they had some, tests or
Yeah,
whatever, not for the good looks or something like this. I'm sure that people who are, trying to recruit the participants, they should have known that this might be a disaster, and this person might be quite dangerous for the
yeah,
other person that they're
yeah,
choosing.
absolutely. Yeah,
And
and
yeah,
yeah.
and if they did it on purpose, and you know what, I'm kind of convinced that they did it on purpose. This is something very, very cruel.
Yeah, it's very cruel, but because that guy, he auditioned second time. He was in different city because they pick up different city for each show. So this one is Chicago.
Mm-hmm.
He auditioned in different city. He didn't got picked. So when he came second time, for some reason he moved maybe for the show even. He wanted to be on the show and they picked him. And he's like, oh, I was writing letters to my wife for years. I wanted wife so bad. It's like he's such a classical narcissist. The girl narcissist. The girl, she was, when she laughed, that's what for me that giveaway. She was laughing, and she has this pretty, like not a laugh, a cackle, like this. She laughs, but her eyes are dead, completely dead. It's fish eyes, and that's what gives her away because she laughs, but there are no laugh in her eyes. Um,
Do you remember? I just remembered that. Do you remember Rodney Alcala? He was a serial killer who actually participated in the show to find their love, and he was in the finale of the show. And the woman who was kind of like chosen by him, and kind of chose him, decided not to go out with him, not to go on a date. And only after this huge scandal that happened, when everybody found out that he's a serial killer, she
wow,
actually knew that she might have been his next victim, because obviously he was trying to find
wow. No,
he was
I
trying to
haven't
find
heard
love.
of it.
Yeah.
I didn't.
Yeah, yeah,
Wow,
just Google this. He before before the show, he assaulted 8-year-old girl, and he actually killed 5 more. And
wow. What the
he was
research
like,
they
yeah,
did on the show?
they did not do any research because it was in the
Yeah.
70s, and I don't think that they made any research back then. But like, when I watched some of the video clips out of the show, he really had absolutely insane vibes and eyes, and he was kind of trying to make himself very pleasing, very, cool, and very easygoing. But maybe that's because I knew who he is. That was shown that he was creepy as hell.
Yeah, everyone says about this guy on this show that he's weird, he's strange, whatever he says doesn't make sense. Well, he obviously he doesn't try to make sense. He just try to confuse you, make
Mm-hmm.
you drive you crazy. But that's what they do. It's I'm not saying he's a serial killer or anything like that.
Of
Uh,
course.
but he's he's toxic. He's extremely toxic, and I feel bad because this girl, she cried at least 3 times. It's not even the last there. The season is not over, or even over, because he constantly did these things. She would do something very nice. She created a nice like picnic for their 1 month anniversary, because it's like a couple of months or the whole show, and brought food, everything, champagne. He came there, like. Uh, Giving her favor, and he turned it into
Oh,
something. Oh, you know what,
mm-hmm.
you just hitting me with a stick, you constantly asking me questions, you're so aggressive, and she's never been aggressive. And she also he accused her of like, I don't know if I can say this, sexual aggressiveness, say that. They're married, and
Oh,
she said, you know what, before that, when they went to honeymoon, he took my hand and put it on his private part. Okay, that's what he did.
oh,
And then she touched him because she
she's the
thought,
aggressive one.
and she's the
Mm-hmm.
aggressive man actually attacking him. And so I don't know what else was going, but whatever. That's this we didn't see, but whatever we saw before with our own eyes, she gave him vows that she did at the altar, right? And nice,
Mm-hmm.
something nice she wrote that was framed and everything. Something nice he wrote, and he's reading these vows, and he's like, "See, everything I said is true. My vow is great. Look at yours. Did you write here
Yeah.
that you're gonna hit bear with a stick? You didn't, but you constantly hit bear with a stick." And he turned something nice and sweet, and she didn't say a word. She was quiet, and he just laughed. He stormed out, and she started crying because, like, what just happened? The narcissist. They find a reason to make you very small, to make you this, horrible person
Yeah, did you
when you're nice.
what happened next? I mean, are they still together?
The
Did
show is still
she
going on. I,
manage
I
to?
sneaked I sneaked yesterday to just I couldn't handle it. I went to Instagram and found the page where people were talking about it. So I know what show ended with. They're not together, but the show is still not in
Oh,
the middle.
thanks
And I
God.
see the next episodes, they're still together. They're still trying to make it work or whatever. Um, but no, he actually moved out, but I saw them together. So something the producers still put them together in one room,
Mm-hmm.
and she's still crying. And they think that the fact that they continue with this and continue torturing her, it's disgusting. It's just disgusting for the
Do
show.
you do you find it very weird that we have a lot of such TV shows where we have you know classical red flag manipulators that are the main heroes, like sister wives and everything like this, and they are actually like torturing women there, and producers and psychologists and whatever, they don't do anything to help those women. They just continue just shooting for the content, for everyone to be pleased with what they see. And that we have such a drastic rise in the in a people who are not stable, absolutely not stable, and who are
Hmm.
putting themselves on the screen to show that they are pretty much unstable. And other people just keep scrolling and keep watching them because it's like yeah, it is a real life show. Why is this happening?
Yeah, well, I mean, it's good for the show. I haven't watched Sister Wives. I know what you're talking about. I watched trailers, so I don't
Mm-hmm.
know what's happening inside of the show. But I do know that there's a lot of it's a good show when there's an abusive, toxic character. It makes it good show. But I don't think I ever seen such a classic case of narcissistic personality disorder like this guy,
Mm-hmm.
because they usually hide like the obvious sign behind the camera. They don't show it. They just create a scene and make that person somehow more less obvious that they're at fault.
Yeah.
They make everyone involved. They don't really have sensitive people or empath around them, or usually it's also people who can stand up for themselves and more aggressive, because
Mm-hmm.
those people who cannot stand up for themselves, they're just they're quiet. They try to please more. Maybe, oh, if I can do this or this or this, he will change, right? And maybe I'm bad. So, but this is
Sometimes,
so classical.
yeah, sometimes I think that even people, even, I mean, not just women but also men, who think that they are very strong minded, that they can take the aggression away, that they can win over, that they can actually like change the subject that behaves like this, but it's always a no.
Yeah,
I had I have a friend who I cannot say that she's in a relationship with the classical narcissist, but she is in a relationship with a manipulator that actually tries to convince her that she's the problem, not him. I don't know what's going to happen next, and I'm telling her to be very, very cautious about what she's into, cautious to get married to this person, because
yeah,
it's not a good idea. But it feels like until the end, until the very end, until it is dangerous.
yeah.
We
It's very
who are on
dangerous.
the other side don't see that and can help ourselves and just don't move on. I don't know.
Yeah.
It,
Now,
it always like it bugs me.
yeah, it's the problem also is that's it's always the narcissist or abusive person, toxic people. They find their victims, right? They know who's going to work for them. They know the
Hmm.
energy. They know how people react. When she started, the
They're
show just started.
predators.
Yeah, and I looked
Yeah.
at her and I'm like, I didn't know what he was about. I hoped he was not a bad person at that time. But I look at her and how she nodding her head and she agrees with everything and she's trying to please. And I'm like, this she's a classical person. She's a people pleaser. I hope he's a good guy and
Hmm.
he's not gonna use it in his advantage. But he's not only wasn't a good guy, he's a really uh toxic person. And it's
have
horrible.
you watched the TV series? I think it was like in 2018 or 19. Dirty Joan.
Yeah, yeah, that was based on real story. Yeah,
Yeah, this was. Of course, they made a lot of drama, unnecessary drama in this TV series, but you know,
yeah.
more than
It's a
often, yeah, it can happen this way. That
it's how far it can how far it can go. Not a
yeah,
lot of abusers are psychopath and really
of
will
course.
step over the threshold and analyze someone, but making the psychological damage is huge and sometimes
Mm-hmm.
it's reversible. And I hope this girl, is I don't know how what she had in her previous relationship based on her personality, but she's a professional, like she's a doctor. She has her own business. And some people
It
think
doesn't
that,
matter.
yeah, some people think that he started doing it because he saw how successful she was and he couldn't handle it. Well, great, excuses, because a normal person
Mm-hmm.
would take it as it is and be happy for her and congratulate
Yeah,
her. But toxic person, yes, he would, it's just another thing for him to no, no, to try to destroy something that is successful and beautiful.
but this what you were saying right now is also the syndrome, like the main hero syndrome, when a person thinks that he can only or she can only be a main hero in this life, on this
Hmm.
planet, on this in this airport, the shop, or whatever, and everyone else just NPCs, and they must obey and follow their rules. And when someone does not do it, they have a psychotic break, and we see it on the internet, like all those pretty odd compilations of videos where people just yell at other people just because like what they don't have the seed they wanted, or the can of coke they wanted, or something else they actually thought it was there by, I don't know, by the birth by the
Hmm.
birthright, what, something like this. I think
Yeah.
it's kind of the main hero syndrome. It To me, it started when everybody started to say that you have to be the main hero in your life.
Hmm.
Everything you say should be the truth because that's your kingdom and whatever, and we just take it to another level.
Yeah. With the shows, yeah, it's yeah, everybody wants to be famous, everybody to be obviously this guy auditioned twice, so obviously he
Oh,
wants to be in
I
in the
think, but
show.
you know what, the point that he was auditioning twice and maybe a plot of this particular TV show to show that this person wanted love so much. That's why he
Yeah,
auditioned twice. Maybe they even knew that he's not right in his head, but they just still decided to put him on because he was interesting to watch.
yeah, and but there's it has to be some kind of boundaries. I like the expert. Experts were always nice, but in this case, the main problem for me right now, not even okay, they made a mistake, they picked up, they didn't see that he's toxic. Okay, they picked
Hmm.
him up, but the fact that they saw what was happening, he was starting being rude to everyone, and he couldn't like he's bad at handling himself. Most of them are good at handling themselves and presenting like a good, beautiful cover. He's not, and they saw what's happening and they still insisted on them to continue. And so that traumatized obviously the woman even more. And that I have problem with because they should have stopped it. But they did it
But
because they
what was
needed to shoot the show.
yeah, but was their explanation of why they think they're a good match?
Yeah, in the beginning, probably I don't remember what was that, but the requirements they always, try to meet the requirements of each person. Like with the girl narcissist, maybe she's not, but I think she is even based on her laugh. She wanted a guy who is loyal and outgoing
Mm-hmm.
and funny and big and has tattoos and a beard,
Oh,
everything. And they pick
okay.
the guy for her exactly who looked exactly like this. But he wasn't rich. He lived with his parents
Ah.
to save money. But they asked her because before the show, they asked her, "Are you going to be okay if the person lives with
Mm-hmm.
his parents because he wants to save money?" And she's like,
What's
"Yes,
the
of
age?
course."
What's the
36.
age?
36.
36 and living with their parents. Okay.
Yeah, but he's like kind of in the basement to save money. Yeah, it is strange, but like if you think about it, and he's really super nice guy. But she said, but the fact of the matter is, she said yes, it's fine with me.
Mm-hmm.
If he's just living there to save money, yes, it's fine with me. And then she's always like this, yes, it's yes, okay, yes. And she drives me crazy. Um, and yeah, so they put them together, and he wanted blonde girl with blue eyes who will be sweet and nice, and so
Okay.
they got a girl for him. She wants a rich guy. uh,
Mm-hmm.
he's not that, and everything else doesn't matter for her, but they still
Mm-hmm.
keep them together. They keep telling her, but look at him, he's so nice, he's supportive, he does everything for you, he asks you question. But and so they kept keeping them together. And I said he will be fine, he'll get out of it.
Mm-hmm.
He's not taking it deep. But the woman, she's not gonna be fine. That's gonna traumatize her for life. She will be always be
Mm-hmm.
aware of that. She constantly will be seeing red flags in everyone. She will be traumatized after this experience. It's very, very bad on the producer sides, on the expert side. So I don't know. I don't know if about going too far with this narcissist, about seeing who they are. Did you hear about this case just recently happened? It's actually it happened in December, but the guy just was convinced and he admitted his guilt. He unalived a 7-year-old girl. I don't know if you heard
No.
about it. He's a FedEx driver. He was driving on his route. He
Mm-hmm.
picked up a child, put his in his truck, and he didn't turn the camera off. In camera shot
Oh,
everything. Okay,
good
it
for
shot
him that he
everything.
didn't turn it off. Yeah, it's very good.
So um, it was recorded the actual kidnapping of the girl, the abuse, and the when he ugh, took her life, and when he
He
cleaned the
didn't. He
truck.
he wanted to do it, he was on the hunt, or it was just, it was
Uh,
just a momentum.
is it's an opportunity crime, most
Mm-hmm.
likely.
Mm-hmm.
He saw the girl, he kidnapped her. She was 7, from her backyard. But they hired him. He was doing this job, delivering mail to to the houses. No one knew that he had a problem. And then they showed his house where he lived, and like it's like a shack. It's like with his fiance. He has a fiance. It's like dirt, garbage. It's disgusting. Where he lived. So they checked his background. They didn't find anything. But when you see there's no video where he actually, thank God, there are not actual abuse of the video. Some people heard
Mm-hmm.
it and saw it. I don't want to see. There's just a photo where she is like one picture circulating where she stands in like between the driver's seat and the truck, the little girl. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
my skin is crawling.
There's a lot of crimes like this. A lot of crimes like this when
I
the
don't think it's his
person,
first right.
mostly
I
it's
don't.
men.
Yeah,
Yeah, I don't think so too. Maybe they will find something else, but it's very common for this type of crimes when a person, mostly times it's men, who are, just doing their way, going their way and doing what they were supposed to do, and just see a girl, a boy, a woman, doesn't matter who, they can actually abduct and do what they wanted to do. And it's on a hint. It's like they're doing it because they kind of think it's what, like, it's good, it's gonna be, no one's gonna notice or something like this. So it's a pretty old type of crimes that we see
yeah,
here. I just wonder what triggers them,
yeah,
because it should
uh,
be in the person's mind for a very long time to be able to just act on a whim,
yeah.
to make a step and then kidnap a person and do all those horrible stuff.
Took this person
Because,
life for their 5 minutes of pleasure because they're
yeah,
like
because
monster
it couldn't
inside
be
them.
born. Yeah, this thought couldn't be born here and there. It should have been in the back of his mind, like, for a very long time, for him to do it, to actually take an action.
Yeah, because the people with personality disorders, as scientists, not scientists, psychologists say, there are natured, right? They are
Mm-hmm.
come from experience from their upbringings, but psychopaths, path, they are born with certain brain structure, and they're like this from birth. They were tortured and in sex where they were children, where they were children, animals, and they progress usually from animals to people. So by the way, what I saw, he cleaned his truck, how nonchalant
Mm-hmm.
he was, how it was
Mm-hmm.
for him just a simple task. You can tell
They
it's
did the
he's done it
sacrifice, yeah.
before. He's done it before.
Yeah.
It's not the first time. And just before he did it in different places maybe, and no one knows where that child went.
Well,
7 years
well,
old. Oh,
it's horrible, but we see a lot of, the rise of the psychotic things, people with abnormal behavior in the internet, in our lives. It's not surprising to me that, this happening, because we can see it on TV. We can see a lot of psychotic breaks, like in the lives of actors, like public figures, celebrities of any sorts, politicians, normal people. And this is happening because it, like, I feel like it's on the rise. You can't
mm.
even be sure that the person who lives near you will not have this kind of stuff, because something might trigger him or her.
Yeah, maybe it was on the rise. Maybe just we didn't see it before. More people in the world now. In like we never seen anything like this. Like that thing that happened in that FedEx truck. Like it's
Mm-hmm.
because of the social media, because of cameras and trucks, we can see that. But before, it maybe happened before in other trucks, but we never seen it because it's not there.
It
But
definitely happened before.
yeah, for me, not for me, like in general, the glamorization. I don't know if I say glamorization,
Yeah.
glamorization of all the psychological disorders. It also becomes a problem. We have a lot of TV series and everything. We love to watch it. I love to watch it. I like
Yes.
to watch psychopaths and everything. But it's different story when in real life, yes, we want a toxic reality show where they yell at each other and all of that, all that drama. But I don't want to see a person who gets really hurt. If this person can stand up for themselves, right, and they come out of the show undamaged psychologically, that's one thing. But when you see that person is actually hurt, that's a different thing. I don't want to see that. I don't want anyone to be really
Yeah.
hurt on that show by
Yeah,
this
but
psychopath.
to me it feels like people just lost their ability to stop themselves. Uh Even
Yeah.
10 years ago, it was pretty bad to melt down on the camera and download it, upload it,
Mm-hmm.
sorry, like in the internet, and show everyone that you're crying because of something very stupid, that you're spitting on the camera, that you're yelling on the top of your lungs just because something upsets you very much. Now it's common for a lot of people. Well,
Yeah.
I have I have a psychotic break. I will turn my camera on. I will put the lights on me, and I will, should my psychotic break and tell everyone that I'm feeling this way.
Mm-hmm.
And we
Get
lost
attention.
this ability. Yeah, we lost this ability to actually, live through our traumas, live through our unpleasant moments, and not to share it with anyone else.
There are no limit for anything. It's everything
Yeah.
is everything goes, everything allowed, and people are saying, oh my God, it's horrible, but everyone will watch and look um,
And nobody stops.
for that
Nobody
video.
stops
No,
watching. Nobody stops
yeah,
watching, and nobody stops, and if someone tries to tell the other person who has this thing, that he's not right, that's it. The other person is a victim, and you are aggressor who shut their ability to expose themselves, or to open themselves to the world. This is something very interesting, because there's no shame anymore. I would say this: no shame in anything.
you're not allowed even to shame anyone anymore.
Yeah.
Like you're
I
a
mean,
bad person
yeah,
if you call it out.
yeah, you cannot shame anyone, and there's no shame like in anything. I see a lot of videos where people just yell on the top of their lungs, in like, on the street, in the grocery stores or in the malls, and shoot themselves, and everyone around them must comply with this, might
Mm-hmm.
have to, just smile or whatever, because they think that it's a very good
Yeah.
idea to make this type of content and to upload it. I don't get what it is. Like, what are you getting from yelling in the camera
Yeah.
on the street, on the busy street,
Yeah.
Monday morning?
I remember now. I remember when we were talking about AI and we were talking about African countries, actually Kenya, where they train a
Hmm.
lot of AI. I don't know if they still do it or not, but big
Okay.
companies train their AIs there. And people who were training the AI, they gave interviews and they said that they had to watch content because they have to watch content and describe what they see.
Okay.
And they say they watched the content that they would never think they would watch in their lives, and it was abusive
Oh.
content of all kinds, and they had to watch through this and describe it. And they said, one guy said, I watch things like done to little kids, and I've never been going to be the same person because I have kids and I had to watch this. And they do it for money, obviously, but
Yeah.
who are these people who send them this content and for what purpose?
Yeah, I wanted to ask you if this kind of content was like in the dark net, or it was in the
Probably
open.
pulled out from the darknet, probably. But the fact of the matter, they pulled that content, they send it
Yeah.
to that person, they made this person to watch that content. Who are those
Awful.
people? Why and for what purpose they did it? To stop this content from AI generating, or they make AI to generate that content? Like, what?
Well,
I
I
don't
think
know.
that when the AI will generate this content, it will everyone will say that it's good for, such and such people, because they will not, because it's not using the real children or real humans, and this
Mm-hmm.
is more
It's helping them.
ethical, and all this blah 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 that we always
Yeah.
hear about such things, such projects. Yeah.
But also we know, no, we don't know, but we can assume from reading, writing, watching these, shows and psychological portraits that these people who are going to create that or watch movies or shows or everything, at one moment it's not going to be enough.
No,
It's not going to be
no,
enough, and they
it's not gonna
will
be enough.
want to experience
I
it.
always, yeah, I always keep remember of this movie that you guys had. Судный день. Как у вас он был? Как он у вас назывался?
Judgment Day, the Judgment Day.
Yeah, this movie that shows how people can actually become absolute, the doomsday, maybe.
Oh, the Doomsday.
Maybe
Mm-hmm.
when you have this one day in a year that you can kill everyone and do whatever
Oh yeah, it's
crap that
Purge.
you want. Purge. Yes,
Yeah, yeah.
yes, because we had a couple of movies here that were translated, like what I just told you, the Doomsday, Судный день, and I don't remember in my head like what was the name of this particular movie. I think that we are like going in this direction. It's going to be a live TV show for everyone to participate in this, whether you like it or not.
Yeah, it's like Hunger Games, or the Stephen King's has this movie, A Running Man, The Running Man. There's a few movies
Yeah.
like this with a TV show where you're allowed to do anything to another person, and it seems like we wouldn't supposed to be going in the opposite direction, right? More humanitarian one, but by looking at all of this, what's going on, it seems like that's where we're going. Is or
Very much so. Very much so. Yeah.
the
And
Korean
I think that a
show.
lot of Yeah, and I think that a lot of
What's
people, they develop this narcissism syndrome, this main hero syndrome, like maybe I'm not saying that I'm right. Maybe it's some kind of a coping mechanism for people to, to make themselves in the center of this universe and not to be victims of the same things that go around. But it's still horrible.
Yeah, I don't know. There's the times we're living in is extremely, extremely weird and strange. But Visit TV, it's like, it's a pretty
Yeah, and
new,
it's
even if it's decades, it's still new. But the abuse is happening. It's
well,
been
I wouldn't
happening
I
forever.
wouldn't call I wouldn't call this thing a new thing on TV, because I'm telling you, there's been
I mean,
people
in
for a
terms
very
of
long
like
time who
abuse,
continue
comparing,
doing it.
it's decades.
Well, yeah, yeah, but
It's not.
would you consider yourself like going to a matchmaker, not to a Tinder or whatever the websites where you can
Mhm,
actually, like pick yourself, but to a person who will cherry pick the other person just for you?
mhm.
And will you believe this? That this is a match happening in the heaven or not? Because will
Yeah.
you be cautious and or slightly optimistic, or you wouldn't do it at all?
I would do it, but of course I would be cautious. Of course. They cannot possibly, the toxic people, they're creative, they're smart, and they know how to present themselves. I mean, this is a rare case when we can see it, one on one, narcissist, 101, narcissistic what is it, narcissistic personality disorder 101.
Mm-hmm.
But you can't really guess. It's people who are pleasing and nice, and they're outgoing. They're charming personalities, and it's very difficult to just instantly see what's going on inside and what's going to happen. There's red flags, but you still have to, it takes time sometimes to see those red flags
What are the textbook red flags?
for a narcissist.
Yeah,
Um,
like from your experience, I know that
yeah,
well, he's not a
yes,
narcissist per se, but very close to it.
yes. I have to go. back, but in the beginning, what signs I missed, and it will take me,
Mm-hmm.
some
Yeah.
traveling back for me to remember it, and I don't remember now. It's the way they talk to you, the way they look at your eyes. Um, it's
Yeah.
usually a very stern look. They usually basically like say in the, Slavic stare, but a
Oh.
narcissistic stare, it's the same. Um,
Mm-hmm.
they will try to mimic you. There's a lot of like little things that you can pick up in the beginning. They try to avoid conversations about their past. Their ex is always crazy person. It's always a
Yeah.
crazy person, always a most alcoholic or something like this. They try to please you in the beginning, give you like all the, whatever you want to hear, they will tell you what to hear. There's like
It's like a cult. Love
yeah, and
bombing.
it's yeah, and you think it's a normal guy, it's a good guy. So in the like first date, it's very difficult to see it unless they're love
Mm-hmm.
bombing. It's difficult to see if they're not love
Mm-hmm.
bombing. But then you will see more and more contradiction of their words, trying to put you down, give you an awkward backhand compliment, where it's compliment, but it insults you. When they tell you, "I don't like drama," I want a normal,
Oh.
quiet life. I don't want a person who will disturb my peace, It's
Oh.
actually a classical sign because these people have a lot of drama. And they give you in the future, you will put it in your head, oh, I need to act less dramatic. I don't
Yeah.
want to
And they
disturb
try to
somebody's peace.
yeah, and they try to, like obstruct you from going to your friends and your relatives and talk
That
to
will
them and
with
meet
time they
them.
will try to do that. Friends, absolutely. That's what would happen eventually with like bad cases. But in the beginning, just look for those signs. And well, especially when people say they don't like drama, be aware of that.
Yeah.
Because most likely they will be the most dramatic people, and what they predict you, like they give a prediction of your behavior, like what they don't want to
Oh.
be, and it's
Mm-hmm.
gonna be
Mm-hmm.
for you. It's not for them, it's for you,
Yeah,
how you should
of
misbehave
course.
and how you should act, you know contain
Like
yourself.
controlling.
Yes,
They are controlling.
it's a
Controlling the
backward
behavior.
controlling.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but they start not direct controlling, but with time they're gonna start to call you every 5 minutes. Trying to learn where you are. They will, for example, or they will disappear and come
Just to
back.
make you
They give
very
you
nervous
the
about this.
swings,
Yeah.
yeah, make you very nervous, not give answer you at all, and then all of a sudden they appear and they say, "Oh, I did that and that. Why are you so
Yeah, nothing
crazy?
happened.
Why
Yeah,
are you so
nothing happened. Like
dramatic?
we're acting
Why
so
are you
crazy.
acting like
Yeah, yeah.
this?" It's this person's fault for acting like this. It's not because they disappeared and the person was worried. No, this person is dramatic. The person is acting crazy who was worried about them. So yeah, it's signs like that. Then it's going to be just worse from this point. It never becomes better. And confusion and the gut feeling. There's a lot of things like women can feel with their gut something is going on. And sometimes people are just confused. They don't understand what a person wants from them. The person seems nice. Like it's difficult to pinpoint concrete things because it's going to be different for every person. But it's feelings. It's feelings of confusion, of
Mm-hmm.
like doomness, some kind of doomness. So
It feels like, they're giving you all the weapon against them because they're telling you directly that they are pretty cuckoo, but you just don't want to hear it. You don't want to see it. You don't want to listen to anyone because on the outside they seem pretty fine. But
yeah,
the snips and gibbets that you can see, you can feel, it makes you very uneasy, but you just don't want to believe it because sometimes it feels like there you are. They're
yeah,
this
you want
person
it.
that you
You want
spent
it so
your
badly.
whole life. Yes, you
Yeah.
wanted this so badly, and he's giving you everything. Just don't
Mm-hmm.
be that wacko. Just go for it.
Yeah. And it's a lot of times it's indirect and things that people just, especially women, they dismiss it. They dismiss it's like Oh, they think they instantly, women, when you think instantly on the first day, second day, that you talk to
Hmm.
this guy and you need to change yourself, even though he
Yeah,
didn't tell you that you need to change yourself, but you start thinking about it. Oh, I need to change this and this because so he will like me. This is wrong. That is
yeah.
already wrong. This is your red flag.
I wonder why, even like on the researches, I just googled it. Men are more often have those narcissistic traits than
Hmm.
women, because
Yeah,
women are more empathic, or like, why is this? Why? I don't know why. Maybe because
yeah.
they
It's
are a
it's
little
it's
bit more
mostly
empathic.
men. It's something, it happens mostly with men, and uh, in America, there's a lot of obviously cases of abuse, and women suffer greatly. And we even, as I said, we watch it on TV. So it's these two people are
Oh
Americans.
yeah, this what you just told me. This it bugs me so much that they actually aired it, put it on air.
Yeah,
It's wild.
and it's a good show. And but at least there's so much information right now about it that women can find this information, can find help, and a lot of American women they're get out of this relationship fast, like faster than they used to, and a lot of these
Mm,
men,
that's good because a lot of information we have.
yeah, a lot of information, and
Yeah.
a lot of these men now, Americans, they look for foreign wives. Sometimes they look for specific foreign wife. For example, Filipino wife. A lot of men look for Filipino wife or Asian wife because
Mm-hmm.
they're seeing they're softer, they're obedient. You know,
Mm-hmm.
that's the traits they're looking in those women. They want younger women from other countries because not just for their sexual pleasure, but because they think they can control them, and
Yeah,
they don't want Americans because they're, you're gonna lose
yeah,
all their money and go to prison.
they thought kind of, couple of years ago, tens of years ago, that Russian women are like that they are
Yeah,
can be
a lot
very
of, yeah, they
disobedient.
married a lot of Russian, Ukrainian, Belarusian
Mm-mm.
women from our from Soviet Union,
Yeah.
and a lot of unfortunately I'm a witness of this. Like for example, Facebook, right? And there's a
Mm-hmm.
lot of women who post anonymously on Facebook and Russian groups
Yeah.
that they got an abusive relationship and they don't know how to get out because they're here, they're stranded, they have kids, they have
Yeah.
no money, and they don't know how to get out. And this men, they found these women who are, who have no help, who cannot get out of this
Mm-hmm.
relationship, and they take them over and destroy their lives, their personalities. And there's a lot of posts like this from women from the, former USSR. They do think that, or maybe they did think that, Slavic people are these, obedient little women, but it happens to be that they're
You
not.
you can find a meek woman or a meek man like in every nation and every country. Doesn't mean that everyone are like this. And
Yeah,
sometimes when a person wants to get out of like of a city that much, or out of a class, of her, or his class that much, that he is trying to actively trying to find someone who is, from the upper class, from the other country, they will do whatever means necessary to get out of there. They will be trying to talk themselves into complying to everything that this person says or do, because you got what you wanted, like you
yes.
escaped, and now you have to be here, you have to be with this person, you have to, obey whatever he says or she says. But of course it can be pretty dangerous and pretty fast. So
And then, yeah, the
it's just a
horrible,
it's a games. Yeah, it's bad games.
yeah, horrible situations happen and they cannot get out and they ask for help. Where can I go? What can I do? And a lot of cases we watch it on TV, we watch it in different shows, again, crime shows, where people from, they used to be called mail order brides. It's like people had,
Oh
women had
yeah.
reputation. They would come and they would disappear. Men would,
Yeah,
do things to them. That happened a lot. It still happens probably. Um,
it
but I
happened
don't
to
think
men before too.
to
uh
men.
I don't remember the yeah, I don't remember the name. It was like in 19th century. There was this woman, like a black widow, who actually mail ordered her husbands and just them
Yeah.
because they brought money. So this thing is as old as times. This story is as old as
It's
times.
probably 1%
But
for women, though. On women, it's probably 1 to
yeah,
99%.
yeah, we're not. I mean, of course,
Yeah.
because we all know who's stronger and physically has more physical abilities to kill. But uh, we're talking about like this is that was closed. That was not shown to anyone. Those people were trying to be like as they was trying to lay as low as possible. But now a lot of people show their um pretty
True
damaged
colors.
personalities outside. Yeah, and their true colors. And they're very happy about this. They're proud of themselves. They do what
Yeah.
they want. They get the attention they want. And I think that it rubs them the right way because they have views, and we as a society just keep doing this. We just keep giving this to them.
Yeah. We're just give us more. Give us more. Yay! Yay! Find
and
that. Yeah.
and
Give us more entertainment.
yeah, and you know what I found out
We're
that
at fault as well.
like yeah, in a like 10, 20 years ago, people on the TV, they had some credibilities. People who wrote the articles, they had some credibilities. They had editors, they had a lot of people who were actively trying to find what was this author or this person doing before this particular interview or this book or whatever. And now everything is blurred. You can be a nobody out of nowhere, and you can just turn the camera on and start your analysis on the situation. And if this will be shown to a lot of people, you will be people from the TV will call you and ask you to make an interview, and you will be on a very even bigger platform. And as
Hmm.
of now, TV's the channels, official channels, they have pretty much they have a lot of awful people who are saying awful things, and they're definitely not right in their heads, but they're still
Yeah.
out there, and they're still like treated like they are credible enough to say some things, and they're shown to the authors, to the viewers.
Yeah, they're given the platform to
Yeah.
speak their truth, the truth they think is the truth, right? To speak their mind, and they are allowed to do this on the national TV. And we talked about this case,
Yeah.
but we don't want to bring it for many reasons. But when the women are insulted, but it is what it is, and there's the cancel culture in America. It's a cancel culture. It's very dangerous to say something that is going against a lot of people, but we also know that some things are allowed to be said, and some things
Mm-hmm.
just taboo. And even though for other people these things that are allowed to be said, it seems crazy, and like you don't understand why they're allowed, but people are not going to be canceled. And there's a lot of different things for this, but again, talking, we don't want to jump off the subject there with today. um, about we're trying to keep it on the one topic at a time, right? Talking about
Yeah,
abusive
trying.
relationship in all these shows. Most of them, of course, it's a true crime, right? And where the actors are
Yeah.
playing the real characters, and we just see how many people you know are completely crazy and doing horrible things. And I would prefer it this way. I would prefer like not to see the real stuff. And I would prefer that it didn't happen at all. But that's not going to
But
happen. It's going to keep
yes,
happening.
but you know what? I think that when I was little and I was watching a movie, an action movie or a thriller or whatever. No, you know, I wasn't thinking, not just, like 7 years old when I was a teenager or even a young adult. I That didn't cross my mind that I would be going outside and I will be meeting the same person that I just watched. But as of now, when I watch some movies, when I watch some TV shows, when I watch some even reality shows, I don't watch them, but sometimes it actually crosses my mind that, you know what, Julia, you have to be really, really careful. And when you're going outside, maybe you take a knife or something, it- because
Yeah.
I am starting to not trust a person on the
Not,
street
you can't trust
because I
anyone.
don't know. Yeah, I don't know what's going on in his head,
Your
and
neighbors, your
it's
nice
very,
grandma and grandpa can be, serial killers as far as
yeah,
we go. No, we don't know who was, they were when they were young. But yeah, even talking like about this walking on the street, and there's one thing that transgender women will never feel
mm-hmm,
it, and only real women will feel it. So yesterday
oh,
I was walking, just doing my evening walk. It was still light outside. It's a long the road where cars are driving, their houses are they're a few
mm-hmm,
feet away. It's pretty safe to walk there. And there was a woman in front of me. She was taller than me, covered with tattoos, like pretty big woman. And I was walking very fast, and I saw see her like like freezing and turning to me in my direction very
yeah,
sharply, just to see who's behind her. It
who's
doesn't
behind her?
matter
Yeah,
how big you are as a woman. It doesn't matter where you walk. It doesn't matter it's light or day. Women are always in some kind of danger. Like that little girl who was kidnapped, it was daytime. It was light. It was a
yeah.
FedEx driver. She was in her backyard, completely safe. But it's not. We're
They
never,
don't
never
afraid of
safe.
anything anymore. They just
Yeah,
don't seem to be afraid of anything. They don't
yeah,
seem to be aware of that, it's a daylight, that it's a public space or whatever. They're just thinking that they can do it and that's it.
yeah. It's the world is a one crazy place, and there's people who run outside with machetes during the daylight, and just it's a different story, but it's a real story. That is for
Yeah,
men and women. Doesn't matter what gender you are. It can happen to
no, it
anyone.
doesn't matter. I think that, we can blame a lot of things for this, and also we can blame some feminists for this. Those, crazy ones that say that any woman can, beat the man because I'm a tough girl. It's not like, let's be real,
Men are
guys. Have a
always
biology.
stronger.
Yeah,
Yeah,
don't mix biology with our fantasies, please. I can fantasy about whatever I want, that I'm a super girl that has a lot of powers, that can just turn you
yeah,
into ashes with my stare, but it doesn't mean anything in the reality. So just be aware, be mindful of who you meet, be mindful of, people who you uh, welcome in your life, and look for the red flags. Don't be nitpicky. Don't,
yeah,
try to name a psychopath, to like everyone name a psychopath, but just just be more mindful,
trust.
maybe.
I think, yeah. If
Yeah,
you're
and trust
getting
your
into
gut
new
first.
relationship,
Yeah.
definitely trust your gut feeling. If you're confused, if you don't know what's going on from the get go, trust me, it's not gonna be more clear. It's gonna be more confusing. If you're super excited after the first day, like
You
it's
know,
the best person
you know
you're
what?
best, be aware too.
You know what? It's so sad because we, like, in a matter of years, we're gonna stop. We will not feel euphoria anymore, because
Hmm.
when you meet a person, when you think that this is a person that I'm falling in love with, that this is the, new man in my life, this is something that I was, looking for, and you feel this euphoria, you feel that this is, those butterflies in your gut. But now butterflies, I'm sorry, you have to wait before I'm trying to Google him, and he's not a psychopath.
Yeah.
That's wild.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And maybe your butterflies
Yeah.
are wrong. Maybe they're
Yeah,
like
yeah.
butterfly
Please go
flying
back, go back.
for, yeah, wrong for the wrong person for wrong reason. Yeah, that's so true. And I have two girls, obviously, who are, the young
Oh,
women
yeah.
now, and I'm concerned for them to get into bad toxic relationship. And even though younger generation of men is not basically the same as our generation. They're more, I wouldn't say weak, but they're definitely not as strong as our generation. But at the same time, they're also more egoistic. They're more narcissistic because
Yes.
of how they are bringing, because of their upbringing in social media and all of that. And that makes me very, very concerned. For are they going to have relationship at all, like good relationship that led to marriage? I mean, because people don't even want to get married anymore. And for men, it's so, because of the
In some
feminists, it's
countries,
very
yes.
difficult to show their true side as well, without being
But you
accused
know
of.
what? You can be feminist. You can be a feminist. I am a feminist, but I'm not a crazy one. I mean, I'm not the one who will say that every man are, slogs and pigs, and I don't want to have a
Yeah,
man
it's a
in my life. And everything has boundaries. Everything has to be in balance. Because if we're
balance.
saying that all the yeah, if we're saying that all men are bad, like what about your father? What about your brother? What
Mm-hmm.
about some friend of yours?
Yeah,
What are you going to do without men too? So we can't be that categorical. We have to be in balance. We have to be in harmony to actually to expect men to be good for us. We have to be good for men too, because this is something that we are not understanding right now.
yeah.
If
Uh,
this
I
man
don't
is
want to be
bad,
father
then
of a
everyone
boy.
around him are bad too. Yeah, 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 yeah.
Yeah,
So
like it's
we
very,
you
very
can be
difficult.
feminist, but there's such a huge rise in those radical people who are saying
Yeah,
that all women are bad word.
yeah,
You can be bit sluts and everything.
right.
That if that they want to be assaulted, that that you have to control your wife, because other way she will do something bad for you. It is a psychotic thing
Yeah.
that we're having, yeah, on
Uh,
both ends, on both
Yeah,
sides, yeah.
absolutely. And I think the feminist movement was great. I mean, in sense of it was 1848.
it
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 was great in sense of
it
giving
made
women
us, yeah, it made it
rights.
possible for us to vote, to
Yeah,
work, to do whatever we want.
that
Yes, of
that's
course.
it's amazing. But yeah, it unfortunately it was a balance on some point, and then it started taking,
Just
going
in
in the wrong direction. And I would not want to be a mother of young boys right now, because it's
no.
extremely difficult, because from the get-go, from the birth, they're told they're bad just because they're men.
Yeah,
They're bad
I don't
just because
understand
they're
that.
men. It's absolutely horrible. It's not gonna make them. It's not. They're taking masculinity out of men. There's our providers, our
Yeah,
protectors.
it's very bad.
We're not women. We're not capable to protect ourselves. Sorry, those women who say they can, because I'm talking for myself, and Julie agrees with me. And
Yeah,
women who walked yesterday in front of me, that big woman who turned around and thought that, I'm running after her and want to get her or something. uh, we just we're we look at work, at hard
you
work,
can
the plumbers, the
have,
electrician. We cannot do
yes, I
without men.
mean, you can have a black belt in karate. It doesn't mean that you will be able to protect yourself and your loved ones just by brute force, because there's always a man who's bigger than you.
Yeah,
And you just have to there's you can say whatever you want, but it's just the reality. It's a biology. It's something that you cannot control. Even if you
yeah,
will lift the weights, you will not be stronger than the man, because it's impossible.
yeah.
uh
Maybe a
and
woman, but one big woman can fight one small man. But if there's two small men and one big
maybe
woman, she's done.
maybe but
Unless it's a karate
and
movie, then then
it's
she
so
kills everyone.
sad that we are still talking about all those things. And it's so sad that men try to force everything that they want on women, and women try to, tell other women that they can do whatever they want just by, uh, you know being victim, because there's also, such a thing that you always have to be a victim. I've heard it a lot of times. Or to, try to, physically win over a man. It's not gonna happen.
Yeah. So how see how we went from talking about abusive, toxic men, 99% of
It's
them, and then
also
want to
abusive.
protect
Humans
it to for going the same that we need to protect men as well because they're
because they're human too. Everyone needs
yeah.
protection, and women, men, all the same people needs protection. Let's protect sane people. Let's make sane countries, great again. Oh, I
Yeah,
think I found it. Yeah, let's
you
make
said
sane
it. You said
countries
it.
great again.
Yeah,
I
we
said it.
can see.
So,
It's very difficult to
and
create
let's,
balance. It went from here where men were. It went to here.
yeah,
It's like
it,
this.
it
It's
did
not. It
have.
should be like this. But it's
I
yeah.
I
It
don't know
doesn't work.
if that's gonna happen. Yeah, I don't know if that's gonna happen. So I think that, I really hope that those people who we were talking about, like in the first part of our, show, actually were an actors. I'm still hoping that they're an actors, good actors.
Which one
That,
on the reality show? Yeah,
yeah, yeah, that they
yeah,
went their separate ways and never meet each other anymore. That they're not traumatized in any sense of form, and that if those were a real people, then, show managers and editors will do their work better next
shame
time.
on the producers then
Yeah,
for
shame on the
doing it
producers
for
then.
the show. Because yeah, it's not the Running Man, it's not Hunger Games, but it's not
For
physical, but
now,
it's psychological abuse. It's that happened and it's not cool.
yeah. For now, it's not a Running Man, and for now, it's not a Hunger Games. We don't know what's
Yeah,
gonna happen next. Well,
yeah,
it was a very intense
yeah.
conversation
As
yet
always,
again.
and I love it. I love it when it's like yeah, when it's
Yeah,
has a real emotions and
yeah. Write
underneath.
us a comment. What do you think about this type of shows? What do you think about relationships, like, as of now? And like and subscribe. And to the next time.
Yeah, and maybe we'll balance it and we'll get some, maybe we'll go from
Some funny
psychotic
things,
and
please. Yes.
showing to some light, something light. Maybe we do this
I think that
next time.
maybe we should talk about fairy tales. But I think that can dark too,
Yeah,
because
we'll go to somewhere they started in Red Riding Hood
yeah,
when it was a real story because we cannot do other ways. It's just
but maybe fairy tales next time. Okay, so
yeah. Okay, bye guys. See you next time.
bye bye.